Let's see. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Okay. Let's get started. Okay. All right. So, everybody, welcome to the Truth Tribe. I am Dawn Thompson, and thank you for being here. I am so grateful that you guys have joined me tonight and every night for the last however many years we've been going through this journey together. So I thought I would give you guys a more expanded interpretation of the journey we've been on and what you've been on, and really take you big tonight in a bigger perspective, a bigger mindset. Okay. And so that's kind of my goal. I want you to remember that I love you. If you think nobody loves you, I love you. I love you very much. You are all perfect exactly how you are in this now moment. Don't let anyone ever tell you different. And if they do, bring it on. I'll have it out with them. Okay. So we're going to start really quick with my guides and the message from my guides. And then where I'm going to take you is kind of down some understanding. Okay. So what I got was through discussions and conversations, and I kind of asked, and the answer was calm collisions will appear after crashing illusions. And so it was like, basically it keeps coming back to this mindset that I try to open you guys up to, which is lighthouses, right? Once the illusions all crash, it's like no matter what you're colliding with, you're kind of this steady lighthouse, right? And so when you collide with ideas that you believe to be true, and I'm meaning you, like people in general, okay? They were basically saying when you collide with these things that you thought to be true, and then one day these thoughts or beliefs crash, you're more prone to disappointment because your beliefs are your GPS, your inner energy, right? So it feels like you're lost because you don't know what to do, because I believe that, now I don't believe that. Well, do I believe that still? Maybe I should. And so your illusions are crashing. And as they crash, they're offering you options to recalibrate back to your sovereign self, your sovereign, independent kind of energy within. Okay. And so this is what you're all observing right now, right? The crashing of illusions. And it's best said, instead of like, people keep saying like, this is the new norm. It's not the new norm. Okay. And so someone was asking what this repeat, I'm going to go through all this. I'm going to repeat this over. Okay. So what I want you guys to understand is what we're going through is not a new norm. Okay. What you have known up to this point is not normal, right? What you've been taught and programmed and known was scarcity and small. That is not normal. Okay. There is an awakening, and this awakening is basically not accepting external timelines and rules to determine your value. That's that scarcity and smallness, okay? So you're learning how to become calm in every external collision and encounter. That's what's happening, okay? And so as the Pisces age of illusion and sacrifice, because Pisces can be the sign of illusion and delusion sometimes when we get deluded. Now they're amazing and other things that I will discuss. But Pisces energy was that, right? The sign of self-sacrifice. We are moving into and have moved into the age of truth and value, not illusion and sacrifice. Nothing wrong with it. It's just that we are going, wait a minute, I thought that's the way it was. And it's, no one told you. And I'm telling you now, okay? So your beliefs are basically hardwired, right? From generations, right? Thousands of years, you guys, of experiences. And so this is the time basically to recalibrate your GPS. Let's call it, instead of GPS, like on a car, we're going to say you're now resetting your gentle presence system. How to be gentle in every storm, every collision, that gentleness within you and going, it's okay. Or it's okay that they're that way. It's okay that I'm this way. It's okay because you are perfect. Okay. And so becoming calm in all the collisions is a result of, get ready, knowledge, self-knowledge while connecting to the collective. And that's uncomfortable because we didn't know we could just fill ourselves up with knowledge. We thought we had to ask someone else to teach us things. And yes, we still do, but it's in a different light. Okay. So let's talk about crashing illusions, okay? And I brought this to you guys many times, crickets and chaos, right? And then I think I had it, I'll bring it up again, but my husband and I were having a discussion, and my natural state as an Aquarius, so I am an Aquarius, right? Is what you guys are experiencing, that crickets and chaos, right? And that's been my general theme for most of my life. So in a sense, this, what we're going through, is my comfort zone. So I don't really, it doesn't faze me some days what people find questioning. And so what I've found lately is that many of you are not comfortable with chaos, and it's unsettling. Totally understandable, right? So I wanted to help you see it from like a broader perspective, and kind of, I wanted you to see what I see, right? So you can get a little bit, maybe I was thinking, oh, of course they see this. And I was like, no, they probably don't. So many of the people in the universe and the planet right now are getting lost in the minutia, in the details of every teeny tiny thing happening, right? So it's easier to navigate when you understand what you're seeing in the big picture and not in these little tiny experiences. Now, are we all part of it, which is the puzzle piece I keep explaining to you? Yes. But let's start with the crashing of illusions, okay? Why are we struggling with the crashing of illusions if they are meant to be replaced with something more, better, bigger, more badass, right? Why? So why do we have that? Okay, because the rules and the beliefs of how to live life on this planet have been recycling for a very long time. And that's hard to wrap your brain around, because you think in the, well, just a year ago, 5 years ago, 50 years ago, even, it doesn't seem very long ago. And so my husband and I were talking, and he supplied me with this great question for today. And I was like, this is where I'm going to try elaborate this, collision in the calm, this calm collisions, when we're colliding with things, staying centered. Okay. And so when do people understand, that was his question. He was asking me, when do people understand that there's no going back to normal? To place an understanding that we're not going back to the old, and that the when is this going to end mindset. Now, that is a question I get all the time. When is this going to end? So this is what so many times that I've shared on this call. And so it's clear that the end point is still a question for all of you. So that's why I wanted to get to this and think, okay, how do I lay this out for you differently? So we're going to take a little journey tonight that I normally don't divulge all this on you. And so a lot of you may know some of this, a lot of you may know none of this, but hopefully it will lay out a bigger timeline for you to go, oh, when I see it out there, it makes sense. Okay. So I want you guys to understand, from this point forward, it's a moving target, and it has been always a moving target, and it will continue to be a moving target. Okay. It is very good that if you can observe it from that perspective, it's a good way to stay calm in these collisions of the old beliefs with your new beliefs, because you're going to start creating new mindsets. And every time you see, I don't know if any of you guys saw yesterday, if any of you have access to information and any of the social media sites that you follow, but there were millions of people gathered yesterday to create change. I mean, millions and millions all over the globe. It wasn't just in one place. I know there was some in Washington, but my point is that what we have to understand is that's what we're moving into, collective connection. Okay. So let's begin with, when did this really happen and why? Because that's what everybody's asking. Well, this happened in 10 years ago. This happened in 2016. This happened in 2004. No. Let's go really big. Okay. So first you need to go to a bigger picture in essence of time. Okay. And I know time is an illusion, but we're going to use it for tonight's sake. Okay. What you guys are witnessing right now is thousands of years of evolution before your eyes. Okay. Thousands and thousands of years of evolution. So what you don't see is what is here right now with all this collision going on. Okay. And it's so much beauty that's creating this collective connection right now. And it's being connected in love. And it's hard to see it because you're seeing all of the pain. Now, I keep sharing with all of you guys that we have moved into, and we have been in the age of Aquarius, but it is here. People keep asking, like, when is the age of Aquarius? It's now, right now. Okay. And so being an Aquarius, I think in my mind, I'm like, of course you know what that means. And then I realized you don't, or at least it's misunderstood. So I'm going to go and give you a quick spiritual history lesson to see how our collective growth is absolute magic right now. I mean, it's such magical. Okay. And so we're going to take a little stroll down memory lane. Okay. This is what we're going to do. So I do get asked again about this age of Aquarius. When did it actually start? So now, in a way, guys, there's no such thing as like specific starts and finishes when you deal with ages that span thousands of years. And that's what ages. I'm not talking about era or generations. We'll talk about those at the end of the call when we do a planetary update, but I'm talking about ages. Okay. So the best way to explain ages is basically contrasting, different waves of vibrational energy in the galaxy, in the universe, right? And you see humanity expressing on the planet that frequency for a given window of time. Okay. An age lasts for approximately 2,000 years. That's why we're having a hard time with this, because it's a very long timeline. Okay. It's a very long time of energy. So when that vibration, okay, it starts to get close to the vibration of the next age, there's going to be approximately like a 300-year overlapping before the next age becomes obvious. It's the obvious one. We're in the obvious of Aquarius. Okay. Now, we've been in the age of Pisces, and please don't mark my dates. If you want to go Google all this or research, I totally encourage you to do this. Gaia is a good place to go look for a lot of stuff as well. But so don't harp on me on dates. So the age of Pisces was about 100 AD to 2100. So there's your 2000 years. Okay. Give or take 50 years ish. Okay. And when it began exchanging Pisces era, Pisces, the age of Pisces, and it started exchanging, before it was Aries, and it moved, Pisces took over the age of Aries. Okay, that was marking the birth of Christ. And it became obvious by the time Christianity became the official religion-ish, right, of the Roman Empire. So among other progressions that progressed through the age of Pisces, which rules the fish, okay, you've seen the symbol. The Western world moved from pagan religion, shall we call it, conquering spirituality, which was conquering empire. So the conquering empires who claimed to be gods, and then, as Christian emperors and popes who claimed to have divine rights from God, and they conquered in God's name. So stay with me here. This conquering of the masses was the theme of Pisces as the ages grew into the conquering of Pisces rules the mind. So conquering of the minds, also Pisces energy. So we have 2000 years going on here. Okay. So Pisces is the sign of spiritual connection and self-sacrifice. Okay. So you saw a lot of sacrificing in the name of God, wars in the name of a religion, right? Unlike Aries, which stood for courage and self-promotion. Okay. So Aries got overlapped by a 300-year window and it moved into the age of Pisces. This then was the downfall of the Aries energy, which is the downfall of paganism, which refers to the authentic religions of ancient Greece and the ancient religion of the beginning of Rome. So this was in the surrounding areas. Okay. And so let me just give you a basic here. The origination of all this was kind of from the Stone Age era. Okay. So the term pagan is derived from the Latin word paganus. Okay. And this means country dweller. Think it's kind of fascinating, guys, how nothing dies, right? So now you see so many people migrating back to the country and exiting cities to be free to live in a sovereign space again. So remember this again, as we go through this history, pagan beliefs, the energy of the pagan belief system, there's many good and bad, but the pagan beliefs stated that it is your own responsibility, not the responsibility of any government, any institution, any church, or other people to choose what you believe in regards to spirituality, your values, your ethics, and the nature of divinity for you. Okay? So you're going to see new communities sprouting in this age of Aquarius overlap that's happening right now through truth versions of paganism, because it hasn't died, it just is shifting through the Pisces era, okay, of faith. So the truth versions of paganism has now resurfaced into a new era for the collective via huge masses of connections of deep-seated truth that your souls are awakening to. Okay, so humanity is they're awakening to see that God is inside of us, not any boxed control information that you're not allowed to question, not allowed to question the priest or the pope or the government or the whoever. Any boxes keeping you from questioning is what's crashing. Those are the illusions. So now let's move into what Aquarius means, which is the age of Aquarius. We're overlapped. Aquarius is the outpouring of information, okay? It is, if it's not the physical symbol that you see in the sky, when you see these zodiac signs, it's not the physical water, the Aquarian symbol man is pouring out of his urn, okay? He's pouring out waves of energy, okay? So Aquarius is the sign of air, waves of energy, okay? Ruled by basically reality making the planet Saturn, okay? Saturn makes reality, right? And then the energy also opens up the doorway of the next planet of Aquarius, which is Uranus, the liberator, the maverick. So you're all being asked to go be mavericks of your own life right now. So what the Aquarian man symbol is pouring his energy into our progressive ideas, right? He's seeding your minds of the future, filling minds with truth, the truth that's always been within you, to use it to support the collective, to support your fellow man, to be kind and generous and connected, not separated, that you need a middleman between you and God, okay? But that's what this energy of Pisces was, to get you to have faith in source, okay? And it did, okay? So now, having properly entered, now we're in the age of Aquarius, the overlap between the age of Pisces. So we moved out of Aries, we went into Pisces. Now Pisces has gotten overlapped by Aquarius, and it began at the time of the revolutions that challenged all the divine rights of royalty, okay? So back in the 1700s-ish, again, remember, don't mark my numbers. Ask my husband, math is not my specialty. Okay, so back in the 1700s-ish, and it became increasingly obvious, you guys, by the time that the IT tech revolution spread throughout the globe, the whole world, we had instant global communication. So what happened in the 1900s? 300 years later, after this revolution kicked in, okay, there's that 300-year overlap, okay? We had taking over of our banks. We had taken over industries within the last age of Pisces, the end of this era, only to see what we needed to start here to grow, right? So we needed to get here now, what's we needed to happen. And so banks and industries, that last piece of Pisces age was the takeover to hold on to it, of control and power. It's how we got here, okay? The last hold on, that's all it was. It's been going on for thousands of years. This is not like, oh my God, it just happened 100 years ago. It didn't, okay? Or 300 years ago. It happened just 100 years ago through 4,000, 6,000, okay? So we can keep going. So now let's go into more Aquarian, because we're in the age of Aquarius, okay? Aquarius rules community, okay? The collective connections, humanitarian. We're moving from a time when, important information, okay, this was Pisces, where they told you what you could learn, was closely guarded, and education was privileged to this upper class, to the internet. Now we've moved to the internet, right? And to satellite coverage for all. And everybody's like, I can't believe it. I'm like, this is awesome, right? With now you got freedom to learn what feeds your truth, not what you are being told that feeds you, not what they're telling you you're going to get fed. Now Aquarius is the sign of truth. The main frequency of Aquarius is truth, knowledge, okay? So now everyone has a platform on the, on somewhere, I don't know what you're using, right? To which to express like your truth and opinion on the value of anything and everyone, right? So even medical truth and healing are now appearing via energies, different modalities, self-healing, supplement healing, herbal healing, free resources, period. Okay, versus controlled, restricted healing. Okay, where you have no say to question the information. So simply spend an evening, guys, on any channel, right? I know some of you are on Facebook, YouTube, wherever, the fake news, the truth, the TV wizards, and just look at the headlines from the TV wizards selling you snake oil of safety from the past. Do what we tell you and you'll be okay. And we're all like, but we're not. So the planet is waking up, right? We humans are being invited to make up your own minds, you guys, as what is true and what is false. This would have been unheard of for a collective during the height of the Piscean age, in which faith was important, right? And your average Joe did not question faith or authority of the rulers, that they were willing to go after this faith and those rulers, shall I say, to the point of your own death to defend them. And that's what we're leaving. So some people are still there. I get it, that programming is there, the energy is there. It's okay. I want you to understand how long this has been happening. Okay. But please understand the other thing that is energy, this never cut and dry in the world of humans. Okay. And so remnants of the previous ages are going to linger always. Nothing ever totally disappears. I mean, not even dinosaurs, right? We have bones, we have all these things. Whatever it is, they probably were, before they were dinosaurs, they were dragons. But we don't know this because it's been controlled information until now. So it's just a matter of what energetic dominance is happening at this time. The Aquarian myths, mythological energy of Aquarius, are going to dominate now for a while. Okay, they're not going to replace what you've learned from Pisces, which is faith in the unknown, which is source. Okay, they're not going to remove that or replace it. It's just dominating you to get to internal truth and sovereignty. More and more, we're going to see symbols of Aquarius entering our consciousness. Okay, just like you guys saw for so many hundreds of years, right? Representations of Jesus, right? Dominating much of the Piscean age. You see cars all over, or churches with fish, and Pisces rules the fish, right? So it's the same thing. You're going to start watching energy shifting, and you've already seen it. Any of you guys, the Aquarius looks like the water bearer, right? With the picture of the symbol. So have you guys noticed that all through like the planet, at least here in North America, people are carrying water all around on a regular basis. Like, I think it's hilarious. Like, everybody's always carrying water. I have to go to the bathroom all the time, so I can't do it, but it's funny to me, right? Aquarius also rules flight. It rules space. It rules astrology. And I bring this up because 30 years ago, I being one of them, astrology was woo-woo, right? And now you have in the collective this, I mean, I'm like baffled by how many people are using astrology to support their GPS systems. Like, wow, I want to feel the energy. I want to understand what's going on so I can kind of use it as my compass. Okay. So Aquarius also, what's happening, rules computers and systems. It rules technology, guys. Computers are here to stay. All right. And the software keeps getting more complex every single day. But the systems also include helping us have ways to connect with each other and live together in a lot more compatible, easier way. Right. So there's new family connections or supportive communities that are springing up everywhere. Communal living is the norm of the future. So you got to start getting used to that, whether it is out in the going out of the city and moving out to the farmlands again and communals live together, or exploring this a little bit. Our Truth Tribe is a perfect example. Okay. Seniors are dumping medical-based centers to communal friends housing full of loving energy, which is where they should be. Aquarius is the humanitarian, and it will not accept lack from all the way down, from children all the way up to seniors, to everything in between. It is the sign of freedom, expansion, and bigger realms. Okay. So it's also the sign of the future, you guys. And so because it's the sign of the future in technology, you guys have seen this plenty, so don't be surprised by it. Robots have arrived, and they will probably become very obvious, much more so within the next 5 to 10 years, because we're in the thick of Aquarian, the era, and so we have to understand that age is starting to open up. I'll talk about Pluto going in there in a little bit as well. So, not only is it replacing robots in some ways, but people are benefiting from this, right? With parts of their anatomies, their arms and legs are now machine parts, and they work really well, and they're giving people new life. It's also, get ready. So someone said yes, and they're replacing human thought, working with them. So this is where I'm saying you have to determine what versions of this tech that work for you and work against you. Not all of it will work against you if you know what your truth is. So I agree with you. We can take it to the extreme, but there is no part in history that hasn't been extreme, as you saw the extreme in religion, and dying for someone's religion is not okay. That's not God. God is unconditional love. It is not hurtful and harmful. Same thing with tech. If it is hurtful and harmful, it is not okay, i.e. what's been going on already, trying to put tech inside of you that is not helping you. It's hurting you. We have to be sovereign in knowing which pieces work and which ones don't. Because Aquarius also rules independence and freedom. Right? So every day, more people, you guys, are doing everything for themselves. They're not looking to the government anymore, which was the way it was for a long time. Okay. So if you look at such things as the internet, healing with herbs and energy, now you're seeing people share stuff all over the place. Solar panels, geothermal power. If you don't know what geothermal is, amazing work. My husband has taught me so much about it. It's amazing. Indoor gardening, 3D printing, it's all becoming reality. It's not just this granola woo-woo dream that started in the 60s from Aquarius, right? And so one of the most important themes of Aquarius that I want you guys to kind of clear out is, or understand, which is friendship and truth. Okay. Social media is one of the most visual signs of the age of Aquarius in full swing. And it's hard for us to see that because it's gotten a little tainted for a while. And again, every sign has high frequency, low frequency. Facebook, Telegram, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever. There's so many names, but you get the topic. Okay. So we can use it to connect, or we can use it to hurt. And we need to understand that. And the truth will come out. So it is being used in new platforms. They're not going away. They're just going to improve. You've got to look for places where you can express truth. Okay. So the age of Aquarius will not be better or worse than any of the other ages. Okay. It's going to be a different experience, which is going to allow the members of humanity to use your free will to either evolve or devolve, as always. All right. This is how I'm suggesting that you guys start embracing that crickets and chaos, because that's what Uranus Aquarius energy is. It's crickets to silence, like kind of getting to process things. Then it's chaotic information, constant, and you're like, what do I do with it? And it gives you time to get quiet and crickets again. Okay, and so this sudden drop pouring of knowledge, Aquarius, pouring it in, and then all of a sudden the calm quiet to digest. So sudden in of information is that chaos, and then the sudden silence. Be understanding that, okay, I'm just going to get used to it, okay? Because this is hundreds of years. Okay, so it's important for all of you guys to buckle in, okay? Live your best lives now. Stop waiting for it to end. It's total BS. When's it gonna end, okay? Your truth is now, okay? No matter what external collisions are appearing, this is an ongoing evolution, and you can experience joy, or you can be in exile, exile yourself into stubbornness. That's fine, right? But it's that simple. If you can open your mind and get to learning what would give you personally peace and freedom, and maybe it's moving out, into the sticks somewhere. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's adapting technology that doesn't bother you where you live. The most important thing for you to be aware of is that God is not dying or dead. You sinning and suffering, that's dead. And I need you guys to be very clear on this. It is a total control programmed BS, so that your brains had been taken over by numbed down by we'll call it the pills. The pill population got numbed down so that you were dead to source consciousness. That was the last grip of control, and it didn't work. So your faith and your truth right now are more expanded than ever before. You're all getting away, you're all waking up and going, yeah, no, I don't think I want to do that anymore. I want to have it all. Right. And so it's absolutely critical and crucial that you understand that we've had past lives. Your soul, when they say in spiritual truth, your soul is eternal, it is time for you guys to start researching and understand your true past and how you agreed to come here at this moment in time, right? So that you could see finally, out of all that control and all of that suffering and all that smallness that we've played, the survival mindset, your freedom has arrived. It's Aquarius, and you're here. You chose to incarnate again for the specific reason to see it, okay? And you can do it now, all right? There's no reason for you to accept any external influence of TV wizards telling you how to live anymore. I promise the universe has your back, okay? As much as the wizards want to try and scare you, I have shared with you many times that energy does not lie. So you cannot give energy to this past worn out energy anymore. It's burning to the ground. It's crashing the illusion of what they created, okay? But it doesn't hold ground anymore. You cannot give it any more attention, because it's low frequency, low vibe, and it's on its way out in years to come. So instead of going, when is this over, and we flip, we've already moved into it. It's just a matter of you saying, oh, now I know what happened for 2,000 years, then 2,000 years, now 2,000 more. We've just started. We're in it, but we've just begun. And it's just great. You're going to have trip ups. We're all going to have trip ups, but as long as you're living in truth, what makes you thrive and expand and connect and feel free, that's the answer. That is where your truth sits. Okay? Okay. All right. So let me get you guys to the planetary update so you can get a little bit more of understanding where this is coming from. Does that help you guys a little bit? Hopefully it does help you see what got us here. Okay, so let me just give you a mini planetary update. Next week, I'll get into the new moon and what we're doing on the 1st, but I want to help you finish this Aquarius energy off with Pluto. okay? So the reason I say Pluto is because Pluto is a very slow planet. So imagine here are planets, you know, orbiting around, orbiting in this, in the universe, in the galaxy. And what happens is Pluto's been sitting up here, and Pluto goes through an entire constellation. It takes about 15 years. So if Pluto's been going through Capricorn, the planet of government and control and rules and regulations and you know, anything that puts restrictions on you. And so it's very close. It's about 18 months, okay, when it also hits the generation of Aquarius. I cannot explain this any more detailed and graphic for you to understand that now Pluto, the planet of death and regeneration, the transformation planet, is going to assist us as well of pushing us into now a full-on acceptance and understanding of breaking down the old powers that be, control, control mongering, fear mongering energy, though the powers that be that said we're in control. And the answer is like, no, we are in control. Okay. I choose my life, my freedom, my joy, my happiness, my way, my light. Okay. So in the Pluto being in the generation of Capricorn is now going to go for the next 15 years. It was there. It's been there for about 12, again, 13. It's got a little bit left to go, about a year and a half, and it's going to move into Aquarius. Okay. You can't escape the shift from this control and self-sacrifice energy to collective connection and freedom, because Pluto will literally dissolve all that. And Aquarius has already started. So it's already lingering there, and you can feel it and you can taste it. Everybody's like, we can feel it. That's why. So Pluto's helping it. We're already overlapping that 300-year window of integrating, okay, of overlap. And then now I'm going to give you the last piece. What's happening in the sky right now, which is what's going on a lot. And this is what the last 2 weeks, people have been a little bit crazy. And I think it's fascinating. I love this kind of stuff when it happens on a, I don't know, like a pattern level for me, because I love patterns. This is a pattern I watched happening, so I thought it was kind of cool. I thought you guys would appreciate the pattern of seeing what has happened for thousands of years, and then it's a really amazing thing that we're actually awake and alive on the planet right now. So the next planet, I want you guys to be prepared. It's just, we got 2 more weeks, this week and next week, for Mercury retrograde. So if people, X's are popping up, memories or emotions of X's, I've had several calls about X's popping up, okay? X's, or becoming an X, or getting an argument and they become an X, or X's from your past and you're clearing out the past with an X. X is trying to rekindle. It could be partnerships of anything. So it could be any communication from the past, people you used to remember that, you know, from childhood, or popping up. Things from your past will pop up during this Mercury retrograde. Okay. And it's until February 3rd, which is next Thursday. Okay. So we got a little, about, you know, 14 days, 12, 13 days left. Not a lot, but it's still there. Okay. So past memories and emotions, they could just be emotions of something from the past popping up. Okay. And so when they're popping up, they're not necessarily to reignite the past for you. So please remember this. People are like, oh my gosh, am I supposed to go redo this, revisit this? Are they coming back to restart this? No, they're for you to reevaluate how far you've come and what you can do to recalibrate your energy. Okay. Does that make sense? So it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking this again, or I'm feeling this again, or oh my gosh, they're back. It's more saying, did I really do that? Or was that an experience? Or did I really go out with that person? Or did I really accept that for myself? And if so, go, no, I don't anymore. I'm really proud. It's more of a, wow, I did a good job. I've moved out of that old and into the new. Now, Venus is retrograde until Saturday. It goes out of retrograde on Saturday. So love and values. Okay. Venus rules love and values, beauty, entertainment, that kind of stuff. So it's going to help you guys stand a little more confident in your values. So people have been feeling these retrogrades of really intense emotions and feelings and experiences. And so by this, you're going to feel it kind of less and less, and from Thursday, then Friday, and then Saturday, and you're going to feel swayed by the external a little bit less and more in tune to what you want, because that's what you've been reevaluating. And it can be all the way down to your values of what's going on externally. If you have not been watching any other platforms besides your own, what you've watched in the past, spread it out. Go look, go research, go see that we are awakening, guys. We are saying no one's going to tell us how to live our lives anymore. Will it be for years to come? Yes. But it's happening right now where you're going to start being able to choose the life you want, how you get educated, how you heal, how you choose your own, the way you live your life and your career and make valued money and way you value yourself and all of it. It's amazing. Okay. So these 3 planets right now have definitely been, Uranus is doing it too, but I just gave you a whole understanding of what Aquarius energy does. Okay. So everybody really here real quick, let's go over the tips and then I'm going to go into Q&A and see if there's any questions about all of this energy. Okay. And so, tip number 1, what is your gentle GPS? Okay. What is your gentle presence system? What keeps you gentle, right? Not let me prove that your old belief systems suck, right? And I'm going to make you feel worse than you did before because you're not ready to learn this new Aquarian knowledge that I just learned and it's really cool and I'm excited. It's not that. It's being gentle, not just with yourself, but also being that steady lighthouse more than ever before so others can find and attract to you, not going out and telling everyone they're wrong. You show up where you fit to express your light. Okay. All right. Number 2, there's no new norm. Okay. This is not the new norm. This is the new age of awakening to internal truth, period. Okay. So your GPS, no matter what's inside of you, it's time to expect a moving target and to choose freedom. At every intersection you guys hit, choose freedom. Okay. Number 3, it's the age of truth. So if it's not truth and you keep questioning it, you're frustrating it, or it's not working, or you learn something, you thought it was true, and then it gets shifted and you're like, that's not true anymore. You've got to open the door and research it, because the age of truth will continue to poke at you until you see something from the past may not be holding water anymore. Okay, the age of truth. I need you guys to hear me. Self-sacrificing is over. Aquariuses don't do that. Aquarius energy doesn't do that. Does it humanitarian, heal, and kindness and generosity and connect? Yes. But it sacrifices its own needs? No. To have less and small? No. Crickets and chaos. Okay. Be an unmoving lighthouse. Okay. So learn what vibrates your truth. If you guys can get to that, right, it's going to catapult you into the future with confidence. If you can get to what your karma is, right, where the North Node for the next year is in Taurus, which rules values, beauty, love, money. And it's triggering all of that Taurian truth, that North Node truth. What do you want and what free knowledge? It's free, guys, all over the place. What do you want and what free knowledge can you access to get it right now? Stop waiting for permission. That's where we are. You don't need to go, I got to call a doctor to make sure it's okay if I do this. Go research and find it. Your soul will go, that's it. That's what I need. I guarantee it. Okay. Aquarius doesn't wait. That's the kind of energy you're moving into. When you want it, you get it. You think it, you go get it. You research it, you learn, because it is the sign of knowledge. Okay. Okay. Everybody here, tap. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. Okay. Don't forget this. All right. I'm going to open up the Q&A. Go ahead and comment in the chat what beliefs that you guys are seeing yourself cling to, but you can already see in your mind from this discussion that letting go would really have its benefits. Okay. What beliefs have you go, gosh, you know what? I've been clinging to that for so long just because it's all I know. But if I just let that go and I could have that, what would you want instead? What beliefs kind of have popped up and you're like, I don't want to have to change that. But if I did, what would that mean for me? Because if we don't ask ourselves what that is, what old beliefs, what is it, what's going to shift? You have to be open-minded. Okay. Okay. So, an old belief that after a certain age, we're too old to start a new business, have more in life, etc. Oh, that's a beautifully said. That is a big one. So just so you know, beauty and health and vibrancy and starting over, you guys, just so you know, 50 is like the new 20. We are going to start getting new, Aquarius is going to rule new technology. You're all going to have healthier bodies, stronger bodies, more detoxed bodies. That's going to give you so much strength and power. You're going to be starting from wisdom, not from scratch. So starting over is actually the best place to start is now. I'm not saying you're all 50. I'm just giving you the example. So those of you who are starting from fresh, but with new wisdom, the old wisdom and the new start, that's a beautiful way to begin. And we're going to get healthier modalities that won't make you feel tired and old anymore. You won't feel old. You'll feel vibrant. You actually probably feel better than you did at 20. Okay, cool. Great question. All right, let's see. Oh, let's see. It says, why is it hard for everyone to accept this change together? Ooh, okay, so, but here's my thought. Aren't we accepting the change together? Okay. You guys, I think about it this way. What goes down must come up. So some people, we all came down as a puzzle piece, right? You all came down as a puzzle piece for this collective Aquarius awakening. Okay. And so some came down with the sole intention and their sole purpose in charge of dismantling. Some came down, they're the ones who are in charge of revealing, and some are in charge of paving new paths, right? So what is present is actually just the shifting of power from few to a collective. Does that make sense? So we are actually accepting this change together. We just don't like watching people hurt. And that's the only way we all wake up to what we need to do to help get out of the old and into this new. Again, crashing of illusions. And so what's present is, again, like I said, moving from a few in charge to the collective in charge. And the few don't want to release it, as it's been playing, as I showed you, for thousands of years. Okay. And now we all just said, no, thanks. I think I'm going to ask my friends, how they stay healthy. Give me what you give. I'm going to take that instead. I think I'm going to ask my, my friends I want to live in that beautiful mansion, but I can't afford that with what I do. But I think I'm going to ask them so that we can all live together and communal, and we can all live just like they do, one or many, same experience, just in a different mindset. Okay. So we have to understand that it is happening together. You just don't see it because you're wondering why people aren't jumping on your mindset, and they are. They just have a different journey and a different purpose of what they're supposed to implement during this Aquarian age transition. Okay. Cool. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. Okay, you guys are too funny. When you ask some of these questions, this makes me laugh. So do we have to wait hundreds of years for this to improve? It is improving. Okay, so no, you don't have to wait 100 years. I know that's what I would think too. Like, okay, is this going to be 100 years before this is going to feel better to me? And this is why I shared with you a little bit earlier. Okay, you don't have to wait 100 years. You have to choose to be free today. As I said, free on your health, free on your wealth, free on your education, free on your who you live with, who you dine with, how you eat, what you eat, when you, everything you do, you have to choose it today. That's what makes now or 100 years from now so Aquarian. Okay. I'm not waiting for the future. I know it's coming because you know it's here now, right? So each of you living free and expanded, that's what each of us doing that right now is what creates the new earth and the new age of Aquarius, the collective of truth, not scarcity and suffering. That was the old, okay? That was the age of Pisces. And now we're in the new. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Can I answer any more questions? Those are good ones. Those are really good questions. What I want you guys to be a little bit more discerning of, okay, is does this feel good, right? Because if you've been living consciously on this consciousness scale we talked about and low frequency below 200, again, you can just Google Hawkins consciousness scale if you need a print of it. If not, you guys should be on the I Deserve It app. Okay, go to I Deserve It to the App Store, download the app. It's right there in tools. It's all, you just open the photo and push save to your phone, and you can have the consciousness mapper right on your phone in 2 minutes. Just download the I Deserve It app. I have all this laid out for you. Okay. If you've been low frequency for a long time through this generations, family generations, ancestral, just negativity and traumas, and it's hard, right? And just struggling to go, how are they so happy, at peace, in joy? Instead of going, I'm supposed to just act happy, you know, you don't feel it. What would it take to feel better just right now? What would give me just relief from this anxiety, stress, depression? Freedom to go just look and see if there's another option. What relief would it be relieving if I didn't have to go outside of my home and get healing, and could I just have it with me? Okay, I'm going to find ways for it to come to me. Would it be really, what would relieve me if I had someone to talk to in a different community who was more positive, and I struggled, but I want to be able to connect? What would be more relieving when it comes to education? I have this a lot with parents, and I keep trying to share with them, this is the age of Aquarius. If you can get your kids into some different form of online speed quantum teaching, they're going to be ahead of the game. But it's against the old programming and traditional mindset. It's going to be uncomfortable. And so consciously, if you're down below the surface and it's real low for you, to get anywhere above 200 is going to be uncomfortable until you give yourself a little bit of I just need a little relief. So whatever relieves you is going to be a little bit better than it's down here, and then a little bit better and a little bit better till you get above that consciousness line, the critical line of 200. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. So, okay, guys, that's it. I'm going to close up a little bit early tonight. If that's all you got, I must have done really well because I'm not hearing from any of you on questions. And so I want to make sure that you guys understand that this isn't a negative thing. And I wanted to share this with you because I want you to understand that nothing that is happening is not so freaking amazing and powerful. And so let me finish with, I know I keep saying I'm going to move to another platform. I am going to wait a month only because as long as I be cautious of my swear words, my sailor mouth, and I don't talk about the poked or any of those kind of things, it seems like I'm doing okay. I'm not staying there. I just want you guys to know I am still tempting and pushing to one of the other platforms. I just have, between the Spiritual Warrior, which is coming up this weekend on Saturday, by the way, I've had last minute requests. I apologize, and I wish I could let you in. We are so sold out and we are so over full. So I'm going to do it again in spring. So stay tuned. Okay. I promise I'll bring it back. And it is going to be one amazing day. It's my favorite thing to teach. So I'm so excited. So guys, get ready. Those of you who are attending, it is going to be a badass day. So with all that going on for me, I'm just going to share all that with you, is that I'm going to wait until February, and then I will make a shift of where we are for Facebook, only because as long as I'm not naughty, which I could care less, again, Aquarian in me, I just don't want it to not be available to you guys in some ways. So there's that. The I Deserve It Academy again starts in March. Go on my website, ideserveitnow.com, and you can find it all there. And again, if you miss a call, any of the calls, and you want replays, download the I Deserve It app, and all you have to do is choose one of the memberships, Truth Tribe or Truth Tribe Plus, which is called the I Deserve It Center. And you can play tons of tools more on top of what's already in there for free. Q&A questions. Guys, remember, you can ask me questions going on during the week. If you're not one of my private clients and you're like, I just don't understand why this is happening, throw it in the community wall and I will answer it right here every Monday. Okay. All right. So if that's it, you guys got everything you needed. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. Hold on. I'm going to give you guys one more. Okay, cool. This worked. Awesome. You guys are all now filling in and saying this was helpful. I'm so grateful it was helpful. I love you guys. I love you very much. I wish you brightest blessings for the week. Have an awesome day. Remember, Venus retrogrades over on Saturday, so you're going to feel a little bit of a whoosh of calmness come out over you. Enjoy it. I'll see you on Monday. Brightest blessings. Have a good night.